War is the worst in humanity. Unnecessary killings, lives lost, homes destroyed, countries in turmoil, angst everywhere. Most people are against war, but for some, war is business. A business that's highly lucrative, not for the people involved, but for those igniting the flames of it in the background. After all, it's just business, right? Wrong. We at Doe do not condone or support any form of war, but do support the accumulation of wealth when opportunities present itself. There is an opportunity right now where a select few companies and industries are taking advantage of and milking every single penny they can. Instead of complaining and doing nothing about it, we're going to give you the ways to profit, just like these companies are doing, so you can use this wealth for humanitarian aid for those affected. So let's find out how. Who are the biggest winners in a war? You probably guessed it. Defense manufacturers, or simply put, weapon makers. There are a few major corporations which pretty much supply the world with all their artillery, jets, missiles, and more. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars. In terms of an analogy, if the soldiers are basketball players, these corporations are the NBA. Wars on this scale wouldn't exist without the technologies, weapons, and destruction these corporations are capable of bringing. These defense manufacturers are Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon technologies. While there are other smaller manufacturers, we will focus on these three as they are some of the biggest players in war. How lucrative is war? Let's say you put in $100,000 into Lockheed Martin stock just a bit prior to when the US invaded the Middle East in 2001. That $100,000 would be worth $1,330,000 in today's money, or a return of over 1,200%. Okay, so you might be thinking that's a pass. But let's say you invested the same $100,000 just a month ago, when Russia was about to invade Ukraine, but it wasn't completely sure. You would have gained $21,000 in just a month, or a 21% return since Russia invaded Ukraine. Let's say the United States decides to go on a full-scale war with Russia, which honestly is unlikely and should not happen. With Lockheed Martin having over 70% of their revenue coming from the US government, that'd be like buying Bitcoin when your friend's mom is talking about it. Too late. This is not financial advice, but with how things are looking right now, defense manufacturers seem to be a really good place to be parking your money. But wait, even if the US doesn't buy up weapons to go to war, Lockheed has contracts all over the world with countries that are directly or indirectly supporting both sides of the war. War is a lose-lose situation for humanity, but a win-win-win for the defense manufacturers. The US doesn't even have to be involved. They just have to market the war very well, with titles such as "End of Ukraine is the end of the West." Why should we stay out of war and supply Ukraine with equipment? And Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon Technologies will reap the profits. What does that mean for you? The stocks are there. The opportunity is there. It's up to you to take it. You can be against war, but who's against making money? Know why you're making that money. It's crazy how many people complain or are against war, but don't do anything to help end it. Make money, and use that money for good. Help out. These were just some of the ways to enlighten you, to think bigger about who is profiting off of this situation, how you can profit with them. Instead of using it for bad, use it for good. There are bad companies and good companies, but the only good companies for you are the ones that make you a return. Make a return and give it back. Help out humanity, because at the end of the day, we share this one common thing, that we are all human.